Much heavier than I thought. Guess this is the alternative to going to the gym. Plus I'm going uphill. Whew. Dude. Probably be easier if I pivoted this thing around, but I don't know that I have enough energy. Ugh. Who needs a CrossFit gym? We're continuing our preparations for the house build, and you probably recognize this wagon if you follow along on the channel. Earlier we built a scaffolding wagon out of a set of running gear. This is our second set of running gear, and we intend to do the same with this. We're going to build a scaffolding wagon out of it. This one's a little different in that the reach has a slight bend in it that we need to fix, and the tires on the far side here are both unusable. So we need to replace those, and then we're going to build our frame, set our scaffolding on it. And my thought process behind having these is when we set the trusses, we can have a wagon on each side of the building and pull them along as we set the trusses, so we can be working on both sides and not have to go back and forth, saving us a bunch of time. So that's the plan for this. Let's get started. couple of things to think about if you're going to try to build one of these wagons. Look at your wheelbase and compare that with your scaffolding width. This front wagon has a 7-foot wide wheelbase, so we're going to have to offset our scaffolding to one side. If we centered it up on the wagon, we may not be able to reach, when we pull it alongside the house, we may not be able to reach whatever we need to work on. So we're going to offset that so our scaffolding leg is centered up on the tires on one side. The other thing to think about is your wheel radius as it turns. Make sure you're not going to hit any of your framework. Set it up there dry before you fasten it down, and make sure your wheels aren't going to hit anything. The wheels are different sizes on these wagons, so every wagon is going to vary with different wheels, different wheelbase widths. So just keep that in mind if you do the build. Other than that, pretty easy to do, and I think it's well worth the money and the time spent. Guys, that completes scaffolding wagon number 2 build. We have the framework complete. Now, as soon as we have time to run back to Ohio, we can bring our scaffolding bucks back, mount those on the wagon, and I think it's really going to be nice to have 2 of them on the upcoming house build. Hopefully that'll be kicking off here in a couple of months. We're waiting on some materials that we need to order for the house, and as soon as we get some dates on that, we can start the build. So stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of cool stuff coming. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next video.